Hello. Yeah, I was asked to do a video review of a movie that I just recently got. This movie, They Live. It's a 1988 sci-fi thriller by John Carpenter. Yeah, I just picked this up on Blu-ray, and it's pretty impressive. Shout Factory came out with this. They did a really good job restoring digital on it, the video on it. It sounds amazing. The music, the sound effects. It was a blast to watch. All kinds of neat little behind the scenes stuff here. There's some interviews and yeah, it was kind of a little documentary on there. And there was even a they had restored some of the commercials that they had made just for the movie, which they showed bits and pieces of in the movie. It stars the wrestler Roddy Piper, and Keith David, who was also in The Thing by John Carpenter. And I kept thinking I'd seen Keith David in a Tales from the Hood movie, but I'm not really sure. He looks a little different now than he used to. If you have to excuse me if my voice sounds a little scratchy or if I'm sniffing, I just got over a cold. There was a scene, I guess in the story, Roddy Piper's character, John Nada, which I thought was kind of a cute nod to the fact that Nada just means nothing or zip. So it's like the everyday man. So they went with a generic name on that. He's just kind of a drifter. He's homeless, and I guess it's during a recession time, which it might have been back in the 80s, late 80s, like that. And he ends up getting a job at some construction company and meets Keith David's character. And at some point, he finds Nada finds a church that's there, and accidentally comes across a box of a mysterious box. So after some kind of a scuffle with the police, he goes back in there, grabs the box, takes it to an alleyway, and opens it up, and finds a bunch of sunglasses in there. And he's like really just frustrated with that, so he just tosses all the box of them into a garbage can and keeps one pair with him just to look cool. He puts them on, and all of a sudden everything looks different. Signs look different, and there's some people that look like hideous aliens. And he keeps taking the glasses off and wondering what the heck's going on. Well, as the story goes along, he meets up with the other guy and Keith David's character. They get into a big fight over the fact that he's trying to tell him there's something weird going on with the world, the way it's being run and all that. There's aliens and the signs. There's all kinds of subliminal messaging that the glasses can show, and they get into a big fight over wearing the glasses. I also found it too, and I'd seen this later on, but the fight scene in this movie, which ran for 4 or 5 minutes at least, actually inspired an episode of South Park from season 5, and I think it was episode 2, where two of the characters had a fight of their own. They were both disabled, and this fight scene was almost beat for beat with what was shown in the movie They Live. So it's very interesting. I think I'm showing a comparison of it right now. A lot of fun. They did a really good job in both South Park and this one. Interviews were talking about how they choreographed it, and since Roddy Piper was a wrestler, he knew some moves, and the both of them. I think Keith David had a boxing background, and he was also in acting and stuff too in theater before he got into movies. So they both had a little bit of they had a little bit of experience working with all this, and it made the fight a lot more realistic and very interesting. So, and then he finally convinces them, and they get into a scuffle, and they end up dealing with some police, and it is a crazy. It finally culminates into a strange, twist-filled ending that is kind of abrupt, kind of sad, pretty funny, but rather satisfying. So, it's a cult classic. I really did enjoy it. It could have been better in spots, but I think it was pretty well done for its time. It was kind of a poke at politics, and it also had, when he was wearing the glasses, it had this black and white look to it that made it look kind of like a 50s B movie, like some of the old sci-fi ones from back then, Ants and Them, and all those other ones, the original The Thing. So it was very, very kind of a neat mixture of various genres and styles and everything else. And John Carpenter made a pretty neat little movie here. From what one of the interviews was said, this movie, when it came out in 1988 in the theaters, it spent 2 weeks in the theater and then just vanished, and nobody knows why. And I gotta admit, when I heard about this movie years ago, but I couldn't find a copy of it anywhere, never saw it on TV. It just, I heard other people saying, "Oh, you got to check it out." I'm like, "How?" So it finally come out, and I found it on Blu-ray, and I just ordered a copy, and I'm really glad I did. So, but yeah, thanks for checking this out. It was a lot of fun.